Hello. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. I'm John. This is Carlos. That's
Hey,
Papa
John.
Pita. How's it going? I was making fun of Brandon's face because he is like deeply thinking about something over there. Just like cruising through something. Just deep thoughts. Anyways, welcome to the show. We're going to try something interesting today. We've got a fun guest coming up next week. I want to talk about that first. We have why don't you do the little intro there for our guest there, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm talking to him right now. He may be watching live, actually. Shout out to Vince Hall if he's watching live. I just sent him the links for the show to watch. But he works with Call Porter, which
Lovely.
is a answering service that's extended their, I guess, services, for lack of a better term, in a pretty cool way, especially the last 6 months. So they have a U.S.-based team that answers calls, and now they're starting to dabble and get into some lead management as well, where they'll actually be in your CRM and do some further follow-ups. If you have online leads coming in from a website, they'll call those pretty much right away. I'll have Vince expand on the details on that, but it's under 5 minutes, which is really, really cool and exciting. So excited to have him on and meet with him a couple times next week to go over some cross-promotion stuff so that we can, serve you guys better and have some fun.
I'm just gonna say this. I think that was the shittiest introduction ever. I'm gonna do one better if he's watching. I'm gonna do one better if he's watching. Vince is real estate's equivalent of Matt Best of Black Rifle Coffee. Call Porter has the most innovative and creative commercials and equates the Black Rifle Coffees and Matt Best commercials and should be given the credit as such. And I think that's a proper introduction because I love Black Rifle stuff and I've always wanted to do it and I've never done it. I'm not an action taker like that when it comes to commercials. And I'll tell you what, when I watch Call Porter stuff and him and I'm like an A, dude, he's got it. So there you go. I added that in while I'm eating my peanut butter sandwich.
I have no idea who those Black Rifle people are.
Bro,
you're getting docked points on your intro.
I liked Carlos' intro. I liked what I could relate to what he talked about, and then I have no idea what you're talking about.
My intro is
one, he's not a fucking American. John's from fucking England. He doesn't fucking count. If you're a real red-blooded American, drink that water, baby. Black Rifle Coffee and Matt Bestar. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
I know it from Greg Simpson, actually, who's another Andy Frisella guy. But yeah, my intro isn't going to include one, which I told Vince this on the times when we met up, how hilarious the Call Porter commercials
I don't know why not. Why wouldn't you include that?
Should. Next time we have a guest on that has half as funny commercials, I'll be sure to do that.
Love it. All right, well, cool. So next week we got a guest. Also, the show time for live is 1 p.m. now. So everybody be aware of that. If you used to show up at 12, show up at 1 now. Eastern, what is that? 10 a.m. Pacific, 11.
What time in England would that be?
I'm just going to 1 p.m. Pacific. You do the calculations on your own. I don't need to embarrass myself any further about my knowledge of things. Cool. Well, so today, what we're going to do is something called cruising the market. I'm going to assume that's what Brandon's concentrated face was. We're going to kind of maybe make this a little bit of a repeating segment. So we have like our guest shows, which we're trying to do at least one, maybe two a month, because we're getting some massive value out of those and just speaking to other people in our candid kind of way here. And then we do our normal shows where we come up with some, current event topics that we've experienced in our weeks. But what we also wanted to do was maybe make a recurring segment about just like, let's go look at the market. Let's just have some candid conversations about some things that we're seeing and, virtually drive around the market and talk about some things. I will say before we get into this, and it's going to be fun to explore this kind of segment with you guys, but I was at a party a couple weeks ago, I think.
And we were at a fucking party, probably the lamest party ever.
It was a parent party.
Brandon's has his hater hat on today. I don't know what's in that peanut butter sandwich. Brandon has his hater gear on.
Wait, my response to that would be is like, Brandon, I would like to know the not lame parties that you go to, and then
I don't go there because I don't want to know.
There was a party with kids. All right, a bunch of dads. I went outside with the dad who owned the house, who works in mortgages. We lit the fire for the kids to do s'mores, and I asked him, "Hey, how are things going?" Because when we talked a couple months ago, he's like, "Things are slow. Like, when's it going to pick up?" But he said things are picking up. He's got like a big pipeline going right now, and I asked him, like, where are these people coming from? And his biggest sentiment was they're tired of waiting for the mortgage rates to go down, and they don't want to lose properties. So they're jumping back in. And he said first-time home buyers are increasing a little bit as well. But he said the biggest difference between now and then is time to close is a lot longer. He was saying like he's got 40, 50, 60-day closes. And usually, during COVID time, it was a lot smaller. But he said in terms of pipeline and the amount of people that he has with application for mortgages, not to COVID levels, but say like back to normal. So I thought that was an interesting market pulse here in Florida for everybody listening. All right. How are we going to cruise the market today, gentlemen?
Oh, dude. Speaking of the market, did you guys see... So I was talking to my landscaper,
Sure.
and you know what? Let me pull it up. So my guy, I've known Josh for forever, and we actually got into it because I was an REO agent at a time, and I had this house that it was phenomenal, sitting on an acre. It was a bank-owned property. And back in the day, nowadays, you get fucking arrested for this shit. We used to backdoor deals all the time, pocket list them, hook up the people that we know. This was in the Wild West days of like bank-owned properties when shit was getting foreclosed on left and right and families were getting kicked out on Christmas. But I had this property and I was actually thinking about flipping it myself. So I was going to find someone to buy it and do it. Forget about the ethics.
This property now, or are you saying
no,
back
this
in the day?
This was back how I met the guy. Anyway,
Okay.
It turns out he knew my broker, tattled on me. My broker called me. Long story short, me and this guy have a long-standing relationship of over a decade. He's cuts my lawns. I've sold him flips. I've wholesaled him deals, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, he texted me the other day, and he says, "John, do you want to pull up? Are you pulling up stuff, or am I pulling up stuff?"
Unless you're sending me stuff to pull up, I think you should pull up stuff.
I should pull up stuff. So basically, he sends me this address, and it's over here in Lakeland. It's not too far from his house. I'm trying to get to share screen. Okay, guys, give me a fucking second.
As you're saying that,
and
this water hits absolutely different. Just to let you know, I bought this in honor of Papa P. I got the whole pack from Whole Foods. This water is just
it hits better than Mike Tyson in the fucking 90s. Bro.
It is so good.
Now I'm gonna have to get some Mountain Valley water.
So can you see this?
Yeah, we're on the second Street Southeast.
So take a look at this property. Anyway, it needs work. He said,
I love his estimate 71.
I know. Like fucking 71 estimate, price 79.9. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so you take a look at this property, and he wants to buy it as like a rental. And you could tell it's got this old tin roof. That metal roof is shot. The floors are soft. Like the whole thing is wood frame. It's from 1930. And I don't know if anybody follows me long enough, they know I have a thing against old wood frame homes. I live in one and I want to burn it the fuck down every single day. But basically he goes, "What do you think of this?" So I checked the market out, right? And I'm not going to pull all that up. And I was like, man, it's whatever. Everything's expensive nowadays. It's buy your house. I figured he wanted to move his mom. And he goes, "No, I'm looking at this as a rental." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "What can you get rent?" I go, $1,200. So cruising the market, I was like looking around and I was looking at values. I was like, okay, so this thing maybe is 160, but honestly, there's nothing under 200K. So you could probably, even in this market, you could probably get 180, 190 just because there's nothing under 200K.
Mm-hmm. You're saying if he flipped it?
If he flipped it, like just for value wise, he wants to know. I mean, any good renter, unless you're buying for some type of tax thing, you should want equity in your property, right? You want to get a good deal. You make money on the buy.
Yeah.
But if you do the math, and he was going to buy it cash, and he's like, I'm like, man, like that's
he's a landscaper.
He owns a business. He owns the landscape.
I feel like he should teach some people.
He's very successful. He's our age, so he's grown this company. I've known him. So what? I mean, in his 20s, he's grown his business up, and I mean, I know him and his lands. They cut all my properties here locally, anyway. And I said, man, just do the math on that. I was like, $80K. I was like, then you're going to probably put in, and he does a lot of the work himself, but like 30. Just say 30, maybe 40 if you do the roof and the wood's bad and stuff, and you got to do everything to it. You're into this thing for, let's just say, 120.
Yeah.
120 cash. Either that or you're getting a hard money at like 10% with 2 points up front.
Which you wouldn't want to do if he's
and you wouldn't want to do. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that, right?
Yeah.
So, and then what's left in this market, you're paying what, like a 7-8% rate on regular loan for an investment loan? And I was like, dude, like if you can only get $1,200 a month for a 2-bed, 1-bath, I was like, why are you doing this? And his response was, I'm doing it because I could keep an eye on it. And I'm like,
I can keep an eye on it? What the hell does that mean?
Well, and I used to be like that. A lot of people who aren't in the business believe in the backyard equation. It's in my backyard. I can go visit it. I can fix it, handyman it. They have a complaint. I can knock on the door. I could collect rent. I could keep an eye on it, right?
So he wants a rental for what? To have equity in a property and then cash flow. But he's like, I'll do it. The reason I want this property, even though it's maybe not a good deal, is because it's down the road and I can. Okay.
He doesn't know it's not a good deal. So he starts asking me questions. I go, Bud, like, do the math on it. I was like, by the time you're done deducting out everything that you have to pay, like insurance on it and taxes on it, right? I mean, and then you actually account for, like, if you're going to manage it yourself, that's different, but you take all that out and any reserve for maintenance, what are you cash flowing? Like $400? And then something goes wrong on it. I mean, it's an old home, unless he's repiping it. And then guess what? Once you start repiping and rewiring it, that initial CapEx starts going up. And so he's like, well, what are your thoughts? And I was like, listen, bro, I got out of the single family game. And so I started telling him about mobile home parks. Long story short of why I'm saying cruising the market is, in today's market, Florida is so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, our insurance rates are crazy. And I told him, I was like, bro, I'm buying in other southern states, like up in central, like Arkansas. I'm looking in Alabama and all that. He goes, why are you doing that? And I told him, and I said, why do you want this so bad? I know John already got ahead of me, but he was like, I want to build like a safety net for my family. I want to build my family's net worth. And he goes, everything is so damn expensive, Brandon, and interest rates are crazy. I can't find anything. And so I said, well, do I got something to tell you? And I was like, let me tell you about mobile home parks. And I think it was the first time I ever actually pitched to anybody other than, like, you know, family and friends, like somebody that's like, hey, listen, man, like, you can invest with us. Here's what we did on our other park. Here's blah, blah, blah. And he thought it was the most amazing thing.
Interesting.
And it goes to show, and I was like, you don't need to buy in Florida because the interest rates, the prices, people think because it's Florida, it's like, I don't know, man, like, it's like the hot chick in high school or something. Like, oh my goodness. But you know what? Eventually the hot chick in high school becomes the ugly 30, 40-year-old, right? Like, they don't age well. I'm just saying, listen, I'm just throwing that out there.
That doesn't have any other redeeming qualities.
Like, there's nothing else to it. You peaked. And I think Florida has peaked.
Really?
Yeah, I think Florida has peaked, and it needs to, because everybody, if you talk to any wholesaler, what market are they opening?
I just had this conversation a couple days ago with somebody. I had this exact conversation. He's moved. Right? He's from Virginia, and he's literally like, he has purchased a house in Brevard, and he's like, I'm starting the Florida market. And I was like, and he's like, what's your opinion on it? I was like, well, I mean, it's a great market. There's properties, people are moving, but everybody and their aunt and uncle are marketing for properties in Florida. So like competition is ridiculous, which means your margins are small. And he's like, yeah, in Virginia, I can get like a property. Like, they work hard, but their margins are like $50K. It's like, you're not getting that in Florida.
I mean, no, I'm gonna say no, but yes, like, the deals are always there, man. Like, they're
I mean, deals are there, but
the competition is high, man. it's really.
So you think Florida has peaked from a perspective of nationwide wholesalers?
Not just,
or are you saying like every
not podcast host quality?
We're no, absolutely not.
When it comes to podcast fucking host quality, I think we're popping up there with disruptors and stuff. I mean, honestly, Steve Trang needs to watch the fuck out.
That's right.
He's probably going to be like, "Yo, guys, can we collab on this?" Do you remember back in the day on like TGIF and stuff in those shows when they used to like collab the two different TV shows and characters from like Family Matters would like pop in, like they'd cross over TV shows?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That's essentially what's going to happen. Is we're going to go back to the old network days when the network crosses over characters.
Yeah,
that's how high quality we are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at what we can get, and I'm going to pull something up because I have a mobile home park I wanted to show everybody because I was cruising the market for mobile home parks. I got rejected on the other one I thought I was buying in Arkansas. It's okay. I'm not going to give up on it. But they're not ready, and I was like, I need another one. What you can buy in another state varies greatly than what you could buy in Florida. And I think people have this idea of Florida, but they don't understand our homes are extremely old because Florida was developed in a time long before other states. We were so highly developed in our metro areas. Tampa's got homes from the fucking 1800s still standing. Even Polk County does. Like, I got a 1920 home I live in. They're fucking old, bro. And they're falling apart. So I was looking at this. I'm going to share my screen. Let me pop over this. So take a look at this. That's the same house, but let me show you this.
Bonac.
Bro, don't even fuck with the name, right? Because the name immediately scares me off. Immediately. I'm running away from this. Not to mention the fact that this looks like a trailer park in some movie with like meth heads popping out of it because they fucked up and the whole thing is about to blow up.
Just like running with their gas masks on and no pants.
Like, bro, holy shit, where's Walter White? Like, Jesse Pinkman's popping out of here. Like, we're in an episode of Breaking Bad right now. That's what this looks like. Yeah. This is Sons of Anarchy scary. Yeah, like, bro, this is
those power lines, man.
This is trailer park boys.
This is trailer trash, bro. That's what this is. And here's the thing is, like, when you look at this, look at the price they want for it. They want $1 million.
How many?
For $1 million for 16 units. That's a 5 cap. But here's the thing. 1 acre. So for mobile home parks, the whole deal is about, like, when you look at them and you see the picture of how close they are, mobile home parks, you envision one, and those are the ones on small acreage because they're all tin cans, like, just scrunched together.
Yeah.
Versus out in other areas in other states, they're more spread out because you get more land, right? Mm-hmm. But look at the average age. 1970. Those aren't mobiles, man. Those are fucking tin cans. And the difficulty in repairing these things, because everything is old. Yeah. Subfloors, joists, everything. They're probably, some of them, back in the day, they used different type of framing. The wood was framed differently. It wasn't like regular 2x4s. It was like stick wood. So, and look at this. A savvy investor, within a few short weeks, within a few short weeks can renovate the non-income producing. How many are them? 9 are rented. The rest of them are either on site, the owner's mom, or vacant. So, like, I got to kick out your mom. I got to fucking fill up a vacant lot. 2 vacant remodeled homes, which scares me because if they're remodeled, why are they vacant? Right? Mm-hmm. But you're selling me this thing at $1 million. 65 units per pad. So you don't actually price them per pad when you're doing mobile home parks. So if they're park owned, you value it based on the mobile itself. You only value per pad when it's just a pad and you're getting lot rent because then it's like a cap rate. For anyone who doesn't know mobile parks, I'm giving you a little education on it. But does that look like it's worth $65,000, guys?
No.
What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you see what I'm saying?
Like 15? Well, I'm gonna guess, no guy. But if you're to say what that's worth, 15, 20?
Yeah, you're buying that motherfucker off of Facebook, and people are begging you to take it off their lot.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were to come into this mobile home park, you're pretty much like, I'm gonna have to replace every single one of these because it may not even be worth trying to renovate them, right? If they're like 1970 tin cans.
It depends, honestly. Like, so this goes into my other convo of like demographics. Like, if you were talking to our show buddy Tyler, he would probably, and he's been trying to convince me, he would probably say just sell these things off and seller finance them to them and then collect lot rent. That's a strategy. So I mean, there's different ways to do it, but you wouldn't do that at $1 million because you're not getting 65. You're losing money. Yeah, if I did that on my one up in Arkansas, I would actually make out pretty well. But on something like this, I mean, but you could do that. But 5% cap rate, and so then they're saying their pro forma is a 12% cap rate.
What's the pro forma? Again, non-real estate guy, what the hell does that even mean? So
that's like, if you do all the work, that's what you're getting. If you do all of the work.
Like an ARV for your net operating income.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So right now, this thing is only approximately, by my numbers, its NOI is only like $50,000. So I'm going to spend $1 million to get $50K.
That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, man. That's the thing is like, I was trying to go through, I was going to show you guys some other ones in other areas. So CREXI is a site I a lot better than LoopNet, but like look at this one, 40 pads. There's 20. I could buy this for $500,000. Get fucking 20 acres, and they're all vacant. I might as well. The other one only had 9 going. At least here, I'm spending $500,000. I'm getting 20 vacant park-owned homes, 20 additional sites. I'm getting 40 total sites. For $500,000, I just got to fill them all out and remodel them.
On 28,
so what would you rather do?
Why does it say you're built 2015 though?
Because probably some of these are there, but they're vacant. So what happens a lot of times is people will come in and buy these things, empty them all out, get everything engineered ready, and then sell it at an up price and say now you could go and remodel them and fill them all at your own rates.
Wait, say that one more time. Somebody's is wholesaling a park.
No, they don't wholesale.
To renovate it?
It's like people do it all the time. It's like development. You go in, you remodel units, you fill in the park a little bit, and then you go sell it, and the person finishes it off.
So they're not doing a full remodel. They're just like enhancing the value a little bit.
No, yeah.
They're wholetailing a park.
John, I don't know, man. I don't know specifically with that one. It's not like I didn't look up like the ownership of it. It's a different beast, man. When you look at some of these things, look, I get 10 pads here for $269.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some of these ones are just a lot different. 31 pads for $620,000, $20K per pad. Tampa's over here at $60,000 per pad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you start looking at other and listen, I'm not trying to get everyone to come fucking compete with me in Arkansas. Okay?
If you're on live and you make an offer on one of these mobiles and subscribe to our show, we'll send you a Amazon gift card.
Like I was just amazed as I'm going through and like so this cap rate isn't any better, right?
Snow?
There's
Glenn Esterson.
There's snow there. I love this Tampa one. Look at it. I was looking at this one
for
$3 million. I was looking at this RV park for $3.5 million, pulling in. So for 3 times the money. But here's the beauty: the other one you needed to pay cash. This one I pulled up because for the same price as the Tampa one, bro. For the same price as the Tampa one, $1,050,000. They're saying with $1,050,000 down.
Mm-hmm.
They will seller finance the remaining 70%, and your NOI is $300,000. Now, where would you rather spend your $1 million? And that's what I think is wrong with Florida. People think because they're in fucking Florida, their properties are worth their properties are worth some shit. And I love it. Like there is 3 parks I was going for here locally, and I was like. I don't even know how to describe how stupid I was because I was trying to buy them. It was like 1.8 mil. It was 3 parks, 40 units. They were all complete shitholes. infrastructure, potholes, dirt roads. I would have had to spend probably $1 million in CapEx. And then I didn't get it. And I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't realize at that time as a newbie, not owning a park, what all of that would have entailed to get it up to speed and replacing all those units. So like, that's my problem with this Tampa one, is it's like $1 million for this, for 9 units. Well, 16, 9 that are occupied. Well, there's currently only 15 and there's 1 vacant lot. So what one would you rather have? Look at this. This is an RV park, bro. Like, this is.
I mean, that one, I feel like you could raise money.
Damn. That looks fancy.
Yeah. On a lake,
raise
bro.
money easily.
It's got a 15% cash on cash.
The park was in
Yeah, you don't want to read this. It's just they're pitching it. But listen, here's what you need to know. 8% cap rate, but a 15% cash on cash return.
Mm-hmm.
And it's typically occupied, 75% occupancy. You get 35 acres of lakefront property with 118 total pads. Now, you tell me what one you would rather go and build out your portfolio with.
I'd go with that one.
And and honestly, man, like, I didn't know a lot of this stuff until I opened my mind up to not buying in my backyard where I can quote unquote check on it like my landscaper. And sometimes you have to be educated. Like, and I would equate my education going back to, like, I don't know, Tim Bratz, probably, because I follow him and I joined his mastermind, learning that, like, you can really do this from other states. And then obviously Tyler sending me a deal in another state and me having to figure it out. And then me going back to the Tim Bratz mastermind, asking how to manage a property from like 3 states away. And them helping me do that.
Man, that's pretty cool. You opened my eyes a little bit to mobile home parks there. And how dumb Florida is. It's all gonna move to Arkansas.
Whoa. So the one park I'm trying to buy has a house on it with a bunker underneath it. And
did you say with a bunker?
Bro,
my wife and I were just talking about this the other day.
Hand built it himself, him and his son. Poured the concrete, everything.
Love it. Love it.
I was like heartbroken the other day. And I've been really working on my positivity, and I called them because I'm going back up there in March and I wanted to go back and meet him again and sit down in their kitchen, just shoot the shit. And he was like, I'm not ready yet. I was like,
you got him though. It sounds like you built some good rapport for when he is ready.
Great rapport, but bud, I came back and told my wife, I'm like, listen, this thing's got a house. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe we just throwing it out there. Like, maybe just pop on up to Arkansas for a little bit, kind of live there for a few months and manage the parks. And I mean, Arkansas is beautiful, but, you know, a lot of those flyover states are pretty nice. Kentucky, Tennessee, like, you know, all there, like, what is it, Missouri right there, that whole little area right there in Central America. No, that's not the Bible Belt. That's the Corn Belt. Isn't that? Is that the Bible Belt? Florida's the Bible Belt.
No, the Bible Belt is in the middle. It's Tennessee all the way over.
This is a classic John versus Brandon.
Let's Google this shit.
Different opinions. We're going to have to Google it and see who wins this one.
I know for a fact North Florida is in the Bible Belt. It goes all the way down into like our area.
Bible Belt is a region of the southern United States which usually includes Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and parts of the very north of Florida, Louisiana, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, New Mexico, Ohio, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia.
Okay, now you're just naming half of America.
Hey, dude, I'm just reading the Wikipedia article. Get off my back.
Oh, Wikipedia? Because we can fucking trust Wikipedia.
Absolutely. It's a community-run encyclopedia.
But, I don't know. So I like some of the Bible Belt states, I guess we'll call them. I like them. I think
too. I mean,
and I'm done in Florida. Like, everyone knows I've been selling off all my shit. And that's not to say you can't get deals in Florida. Someone's going to rip me a new one and be like, I got this deal and this deal. Good for you, dude. I feel like there's levels to this game, and I'm only just beginning to play at a different one. And I didn't know that other people didn't know this either. So, like, explaining that to my landscaper, and now he's like, oh, how do you even do that? And I explained it to him. He's like, wow, let me know when you buy your next one.
Yeah. I think, too, like, we could spend ages thinking about why it happened, HGTV, whatever. This whole flipping idea is, like, buy something, flip it for max dollar to rich people or whatever. But what you're dealing with is a huge swath of the population in the United States that can't afford that crap, but still need somewhere to live and have money to pay rent.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think a lot of people, when they're thinking about real estate, focus on that area of real estate.
No, and the thing is like single family homes become infinitely more difficult. And I know there's people out there, but like I think I just hit a point early on in my career, maybe not early on, but whatever, where when you do it and you just see the difficulty, like right now I have 4 vacant units. 2 of them are being renovated. We're moving on to the next 2. I got another person moving out. If that happened on an individual property where I went, and I've been 2 months without rent on these 2 that are going because I was trying to find vendors. Now I'm paying my bills with no income coming in. So that's what I love. And I never understood that earlier on in my career. And I was footing the bill on the mortgages when I had my single families. And it just never, I don't know, it just didn't click. And now it's like, well, we have the other $16,000 coming in that's covering that. We're not making as much, but we're not losing money. And now we can raise rents and get those filled and raise the value of the park. Plus it values differently.
Yeah. Anyway. Interesting stuff.
Where on Arkansas? I was curious because I didn't see geographically where your park is, Papa P. Like when you were going over, like Arkansas.
I'm in Little Rock. I'm in the capital.
Where is that geographically? Like north, south, east, west?
So it's kind of like central. It's like central, east, central. It's called Central Arkansas. But yeah. Oh. And that one that we just looked at was southeast. It's right on the Mississippi. I'm looking at another one towards the west of Arkansas. And then I'm looking at 2 more up in the north. What do you call it? Fucking northwest. Sorry, I couldn't come up with like basically the north of Arkansas. And we want to buy more in Arkansas before we go into other states, just because of how much money we've spent on leases and everything, and addendums and contracts.
That'd be cool. I feel like I could see you guys moving over to Arkansas.
I ain't moving. I can't move.
Or at least getting a house there.
I got my son with his mom. I can't leave my boy, bro. I would try to take him with me, but his mom would throw a fit, and rightfully so. So take a look at this one, guys.
Cruising the market. Need to come up with like a catchy, weird like 70s theme song, like Brady Bunch style.
Look at this. Look at this piece of shit. And you're like, Brandon, that's not a piece of shit. What the fuck are you
It's
talking
blue.
about?
It's beautiful. What are you talking about?
Sky blue.
Hello.
Oh! Look at this shit, dude.
Is this clean? Oh, this is investable left. I thought it was like somebody put this on Zillow.
Bro, look at this shit. Look at this shit, dude. Come on, bro. Like, what is that? What the fuck is that? Is that a...
That looks like a mattress, dude.
A bag of Lay's chips, I think.
Are they in? Is this this better be a bedroom? I thought we were still in the living room. Like, where the fuck are we right now? Look at this lamppost. I think my mom has one of those. Hope my mom's not listening now. My mom's probably like looking at these photos like, I want to go get some of this stuff. My mom collects shit, bro. Like, she has all kinds of furniture.
John, I will say it is a very humbling experience. I probably still have these files on my old computer of like going into houses like these. Like,
yeah.
You know, Papa P has done this for many years.
And you realize that people live like this.
I've gone into at least like 100 houses like these and like taking pictures, and it is just like,
okay,
it's like when you visit like a third world country.
So I'm
trying right there.
So hang on. There's something a lot of people won't notice. So I'm very curious as to what's happening here. So see this on the toilet?
Yeah.
So this is what's called like winterization. So even though we're in the winter, we're below the freeze line, but banks will hire and spend hundreds of dollars to have the REO agent, and the agent does this, hire somebody to come and do winterization, and they empty out all the water tanks, seal everything to get it prepped for winter. So when I see this, I'm like, so maybe they got a foreclosure. They must have a pre-foreclosure is what I'm thinking this is from. I was trying to figure it out. This is what I was looking at. I was clicking through the photos, and I just wanted to try to go find this property. So here's the thing is you just keep clicking. Look at this shit. So see it says winterized on the sticker.
Yeah.
So I used to do that back in the day.
You did that in Florida?
Yeah, well, if an experience, so you could waste the bank's money, but every asset management company is different. Like if you let them know, because they just follow standard processes, you say, hey, we're below the freeze line, we don't need to do this. You could save the bank hundreds of dollars. Some people don't give a shit. Some banks just require it regardless because it's part of their process.
Oh, okay.
You can see it's been repiped at some point. So this whole house has been replumbed. These are the old. So these are things that you learn throughout, right? So at some point this was replumbed completely. But that's probably the wholesaler probably doesn't know that. So anyway, what I was doing was I found this and I was like, let's see if we could go find this house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's in Lakeland. I didn't
it's
realize
in Lakeland. Yeah.
Okay.
There's my boy over here. My boy is showing out on the beach, ready to make some fucking money. Don't know his name. His name is just Disposition Manager, baby. Like, that's it. But I don't even need a name. I'm just Dispo Manager. So let's see. It's a 2-bed, 1989. So let's look at the size.
This guy is like in a power flex.
3,000? Oh, that's a lot size. Sorry.
Right, he's like.
Nice. Dude, he's literally like in a power flex, like he's like Thanos or something, like about to like grab a.
He's ready to snap his finger and just. He's going to snap his finger and get rid of the rest of the wholesalers. One out of every 2 wholesalers is going to disappear. You know what I'm saying? Dude, gone, baby, gone. So let's take a look at this.
Win it now. Does that say win it now or make an offer? I'm sorry. Go back.
Also, you brushed by it, Papa P. I'm pretty sure there was actual human feces in the shower. You like went by it really quick. Not that you can bring it up, but
how do you win it now or make an offer here? How can you win?
Chuck.
This is how Investor Lift works, bro.
Win it now? What the fuck does that mean?
So a lot of times Investor Lift allows you to set 2 different prices. Like you pay the high price and you get it immediately without competition, supposedly. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go here and we're just going to type in. This is what wholesalers don't understand when you fucking throw in the photo. Now, we know it's Lakeland. It's probably not going to be anybody that bought a home. I'm just using critical thinking and logic. Probably not going to be any one of these. 2021. It might be this one, but I happen to know my area because I know my city. And if you don't,
you're a boss.
Because I'm a fucking boss. And look at what I see. Estate of. Bro, that sounds like ours right there. These areas are different. That's Mulberry.
2009.
Oh, there we go, baby. We found it.
Is it the estate of one?
Yeah, look at
Raven Runway.
1989, 2-bed, 2-bath. Oh,
yay!
All right. So Zillow says 235, but there's my man Thanos over here is telling me ARV is 275.
Why?
Well, let's go fucking find out. Hang on a second. Hang on, boo boo, kitty boo.
So can you actually get the full address here?
Oh, yeah, I already had it.
No, but it says view full address. I'm just curious if they
I'm not logged in. Investor Lift is really gay with trying to log in and remembers my password. I don't even fucking bother. But like, you got to sign in and shit, and it's whatever. I'm sick and tired of being trapped by Investor Lift.
I just keep getting more and more emails every time.
They're so annoying, dude. Like the worst part of the worst part of fucking wholesaling. I wish people understood that.
I had a conversation like that this week as well.
Where were we? What were we doing? Oh, the MLS.
Zillow. Are you looking up comps?
Yeah. Whoa, we're cruising the market, right, baby?
Woo!
What was it? Raven?
You know what we should do next time we do this? I will have a property data API ready to use, and we can compare what this new tool also pulls out. It'd be interesting.
Okay, so listen, yeah, we should. I'm down for that. So we got 16. Now, anybody who's taken my valuation course or is part of my shit, you know that like in a suburban area, we got to stay pretty low. So we're going to stay quarter mile, half a mile. So we're staying in the quarter mile range. Let's just see what we got. Let's take a look at the map. We got plenty. Like, see, here's our boundaries. Oh, this is in Sandpiper. Okay. So this is, so good luck trying to wholesale this motherfucker. I mean, you can, there's a market for it, but it's like,
is there a golf course there?
Yeah. Sandpipers were like a lot of the fucking 50 and 60, they're just out there just playing fucking golf all day.
The 50 and 60
that's the party
and under?
we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's where John's party was. Yeah, party was at 4:00 because bedtime was 6:00. Dinner was at 4:30. Early bird special. So take a look at these. So like, let's see if they're right. So ours was 1019 square footage. So all of these are so much bigger. So, like, they're selling pretty decent. When we talk about days on market, I mean, we're underneath 2 months. That's a stable. Actually, it's still a seller's market looking at this. You don't have enough supply to meet demand. So that's not bad. Like, it's a decent area. But here's one right here. Look at this thing. 611, 254. So you tell me how 2 doors down that went pending in 10 days is going to be any different than this property that he's telling me is 275.
Mm-hmm. And the other one was bigger?
The other one, well, I mean, it's nominal. It was like 10 square feet bigger.
Okay.
But all the other comps, so they pulled 275 probably because they're coming over here and they're like, oh man, that's 295, 287, 290, 274. But when you do your price per square foot and you look at your real comparables, you're not getting 275 if a 1,400 square foot one sold at 287. You're not getting 275 for 1,000. Mm-hmm. So let's just say your price is, what was that one? 254. So let's come back here and let's can I do calculator? Calculator. Let's do it, baby. 4 times, let's subtract out our closing cost. So 20K. So let's just say we're down at 234. Okay. Now, how much do we think this fucking rehab's going to be, guys? Come on.
30 at least.
I mean, easy. So you got to rip up the carpet. You're going to need paint. I mean,
there definitely looks like they were smoking inside the house. So that's going to suck. Sure.
So like, you're going to need some new toilets. You probably keep the cabinets, paint them, and if it was me personally, I'm keeping the cabinets, throwing new countertops and sinks on to save like $500 in each bathroom. This shower is perfectly fine. You're only a newbie is ripping this shit out. Like, you're keeping this motherfucker for sure. So I would say, John, you're probably right. Like, I don't think in today's market you're getting out for less than 30, no matter. See that?
No.
Window unit. That's not a good sign.
You know what that means, baby?
AC repair.
AC repair. So
there's your 8K for your
because it's pump. Yeah, I mean, for sure, bro. Like, you need a whole new AC system. Keeping this cabinet, probably keeping the tub in the surround, swapping out the toilet, probably putting new bathroom floors in because of the linoleum.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the kitchen. Fuck, they got a lot of shit. Oh, birdcage. Oh, it probably smells like straight shit, Carlos. Bro, Carlos knows. It smells like feces in there and bird feathers. I've been in a house like that.
It changes your perspective. It's like literally like, not to sound rude, but just the best way to describe it. It's almost like animals living in there.
So like, you can tell it's. Yeah, I know what you mean, right? Like and there might be fleas too at the worst. So you're gonna keep your tile. You're going to keep the cabinets, new countertop, new appliances, and probably put, granite on, keep the tile, paint the cabinets for sure, new hardware. So yeah, John, I mean, new fixtures all around, remove the blinds. Between the demo, the dump fees, the painting inside and out, plus I'm sure there's an HOA, you got to be spending like $30K, right? Minimum, maybe 35. So let's just say we were at what? Where'd my calculator go?
It's down there. I see it. Hit it. Click it. Right next to Chrome.
Where?
And Discord.
Oh, there it goes. So let's just subtract. Fuck, dude.
$199.
Oh my God, they're letting it. They're letting us make. I did not. I just assumed holding is inside the 35. So I'm assuming 35 includes holding costs, upfront points for their. It's everything. I'm not even getting in to like the points for the hard money costs. I'm not getting into the mortgage payment if they're doing money costs. I'm not doing any of that. And that's the problem with fucking wholesalers. When I cruised the market and I saw this, I looked at the photos, the size of it, and I knew it was in Lakeland. And I was like, bro, there is no effing way in Lakeland. This thing is selling at that price, and why they're asking 186.
So you can make a sweet 13K off this deal.
Right, you're gonna spend, you're gonna take the risk in a market that we don't know what's gonna happen, and you're gonna come over here and do this.
I'm curious.
I absolutely want that for 13K profit. Let's do this.
Come on,
I'm curious, Papa P. Like for this guy that's blasting out the deal, not the stud dispo guy. Are you assuming that this is just like a random PPC lead that Investorless Pro got?
I'm gonna imagine it could be, or I would imagine like they're probably
Wait, hold on.
down on county data.
You said it's pre-foreclosure, but the bank's already come in and winterized it.
Yeah. So
how could the seller still?
The seller doesn't. You could sell all the way up until foreclosure. I can buy your property the day of.
So they're not living in the property anymore?
No. So what happens is this. This is like a whole thing. So every bank is different, but typically they will come by and they will hire people like me, my old me, and they go check this property out, do some BPOs, and then do you think it's vacant? If I think it's vacant, then they go and inspect it. If it's deemed vacant, they post a notice that it's vacant. And because it's their asset, because they have a mortgage on it and you haven't paid, they're going in and they'll take possession of the property and rekey it even potentially.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't have the answers to this deal. I don't know what's going on. It's in an estate. So very potentially they could have reached out to either estate owners, pre-foreclosure people. Who knows what's going on with it? All I know is they probably got a 30 spread on there is what I was thinking, but they just didn't do their math right. And it's like, I look at that and that's why some of these people and wholesalers get a bad name, because you didn't leave any money for the end investor. I just thought it was a crock of shit.
So you think that dude on the beach has a 30K spread in it and he's going to hand it over to a flipper for a 13K spread?
I would say nowadays in the general economy that we're in, and somebody watching can correct me, I would say a lot of people immediately go for the bigger spreads. Back in the day, we'd make 10, 15K and be crushing it. 20K was huge, but because it's harder to get a deal and costs are going up, we got to make more and more per deal. I'm seeing more and more 30, 40K assignment, like people I talk to, like average assignment fees are no longer 15, 17K. They're like 22, 28K, and those are averages. So you know you're hitting big, you're trying to get more and then ready to negotiate. So I imagine he's probably in the 30s.
Yeah.
And then he's ready to negotiate down. But like, where would you want to be on that? I'm going to spend 30K, take that all on. You know, I don't know, man. Like, I'd want to at least, I mean, that's just me though. I want better deals.
I mean, it baffles me that and whatever it is, lack of education, lack of critical thinking skills, that they don't think ahead and have this conversation. Like, I mean, they obviously comped it wrong.
Didn't take my valuation course.
Right. They obviously comped it wrong. But then even if they feel like they comped it right, it's still like wouldn't they still make more than the flipper?
Here's the thing. If he thinks it's 275, take our numbers and add another 30K to it. So now instead of making 13, the investor's making 43.
Yeah.
So then that works. He comped it wrong. He's thinking 275. So unless the market starts appreciating again, I don't see this fucking happening, bro.
Yeah. Jeez.
Anyway.
Well, good luck, bro, on the beach.
Yeah. I'm curious how much that's miscomping though, versus, and this is not even just him, just people, wholesalers in general. How much of it is and it could be both miscomping, but then almost like price anchoring your end price that you're selling it for, where it's like, because if they see the comps, like, who knows, a buyer could definitely not be as savvy and just be like, oh, like this house did sell for 283. I'm getting a deal at 275.
You're 100% right. That's out there. I'm not talking about anomalies. I can never make a basis of my ethics and morals and processes based on anomalies.
We're talking probabilities, not outliers. But
100%. I agree with you. And like, I know a lot of guys, and maybe not so much anymore, but during the last couple of years, well, I guess today's 2023, but during the boom, they were relying on those outliers, mom and pops coming in. And guess what? Back in the day, there's people who just wanted to make 10K a flip. My buddy, one of my biggest buyers, known him forever, his wife and his mother flip together, and they don't need to make it. It's just fun for them. He runs a business flipping. They do a side thing just to, to design and have fun.
Yeah.
And all they want to make is like 10K.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care. This is just like play money for them.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I have a deal that doesn't work for him, he's like, well, maybe my wife wants to buy it. Let me go see if she likes this one. And then like she'll buy it and make 10 fucking K.
Interesting.
Anyway, that was our cruising the market. What'd you guys think?
I like that segment. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like my guesses for renovations and pat myself on the back. I was spot on there. Look at me go. Picking up some things in the past 8 years of doing this. But I like that. That was fun. I think it would be interesting if next time I'll have that data API so we can check some stuff. That would be fun to see if this data API is accurate enough to manual searching of information. But Carlos and I can look at some stuff in our local market, or maybe some places North Carolina, 100%. And we can cruise the market there as well. But I liked it. It was some good stuff.
Carlos, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Yeah, I feel scared for Carlos right now.
Are you ready, baby? All right, listen. John, I want you to.
Do you need me to leave? I'll leave. I mean,
which one of you guys are picking me up for the party at? What was that place called?
Sandhill.
Sandhill. Okay, are we leaving? Okay, yeah, I'll be ready.
It depends. It depends. Okay, ready, John?
Yeah.
I need you, while me and Carlos are starting this, I need you to get Instagram open to our group chat for material, and I need you to pull up that post.
Okay. All right. I'm on it.
And now, Carlos, I want you to know I purposely did not read your response. I didn't. Cool. I did not read your response. I glanced, immediately saw, and I just typed, we should talk about this on the show. So I don't know what your response is going to be.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
I swear I have no idea, but I'm ready to have a full-on conversation because I feel like every red-blooded American male out there has thought about this and has their opinion on what it is. You ready?
Oh, okay.
We're fucking do it. I literally tell my wife about this shit all the time. Me and my son have a conversation about what animals we could fight off with our bare hands and what weapons we would need.
I feel like I've been a part of this conversation with you before. John, we had this conversation with our developer.
Yeah. John, you want to read this off? Read it off.
You're in an area with 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, and 4 lions. Pick 2 to defend you. The others attack you. Goal is to survive 1 hour.
Okay, so this is gladiator style. I literally prepared my entire life for this moment. Okay? You are in an arena with hawks, crocodiles, bears, wolves, a hunter, a buffalo, rats, gorillas, and lions. And it's the quantities that you really have to pay attention to.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And the goal is not just to live. My goal is to fucking live. But the goal is to survive 1 hour. Yeah. All right. Carlos, what is your opinion on this?
Cool. So I thought this was very interesting, and we're in an arena gladiator style, probably maybe a little smaller than when they're in Rome, towards the end.
Yeah,
of the movie,
I'm picturing we're in the fucking Colosseum, bro. This is gladiator. Russell
that
is the hunter.
That big, man. So here's my logic, and I'll give a final answer here. So the 2 that I would have defend me, I'm more so thinking about the offensive of what would be attacking me in my answer. So
okay,
a hunter with a rifle in an hour, if that guy is just chilling with a rifle, I don't know if it's a sniper rifle.
That's the question I had. What type of rifle?
He'd be able to pick you off though. I'm sure he's just sitting in whatever those things are that when you go hunt deer.
He needs to be on your team.
You're done. You're done within a minute. If it's anybody that had a decent marksman, you're done in a minute. If there's a guy just chilling up there in a stoop with any type of, it could be a 22 rifle I used to shoot on my grandpa's farms in Pittsburgh. You'd be done. So I'm taking a hunter first, and then I was between 2, but I think I would go with gorillas.
Oh my God!
they can take up a lot of space. Like I can kind of stay in a circle around them. They're almost like my bodyguards, and I'm just hoping that they fight off. So I have the hunter that's picking people off from far. The rats I would just be stepping on if they infiltrated, and the gorillas would kind of be like my bodyguards, just probably like cornered off somewhere in the
bodyguard. I didn't think about that. That's a good one.
Okay, John, what about you?
Yeah, hunter with the rifle. My instinct was to go 15 wolves because they're ferocious. They can move quick, and even if some of them die, you still got enough to keep going. But I didn't think about like being able to have a group around you as a bodyguard. That's an interesting idea. I'm gonna stick with 15 wolves because that was kind of my instinct.
Now, yeah. I feel like since I brought this to the group, I'm allowed to be the judge here.
Sure,
that's fair.
I feel like John. I feel like you're dead. You're dead because the problem with wolves, even if you pick like one of the largest breed of wolves, they don't have the ability. One, they fight in packs. They don't have anything else other than their mouth, and it takes multiple wolves to bring down one big item. It's going to take a couple wolves to bring down a bear. And what are they going to do against the crocodiles? Okay, so John's already dead. John, we're shipping you in a box back to England, bro.
All right, sounds great. Right.
Now, I'm with Carlos. In fact, one of my thing was the gorillas and the hunter. Because I was like, okay, listen. The hunter, I agree with Carlos. You're pecking people off any distance as long as it's like a decent rifle, not a BB gun. Okay. But I think people underestimate the power of 10,000 swarming rats.
If I didn't pick the hunter, I was going to go with the rats because they're the same thing, distracting factor.
100%. So I figured the hunter's not going to help me with the rats. The hunter's going to get the gorillas. He can get the lions. He can peg with 15 shots each wolf. Boom, boom, boom. The bears, done. Crocodiles are going to be a little more difficult because, again, they're fucking crocodiles, bro. Like, I don't know what type of...
They're inland on an arena. They're not the best on land.
But now the hawks can come after the rats, though. But what are they going to do once they have the rats is my thing. Are they picking them up? Where are they dropping them? So, like, I am torn between the gorillas and the rats is where I have left this off at. Now, I have recently watched King Kong with my son. And I watched Kong rip apart a dinosaur like a T-Rex, just like ripped his jaw. But and I bring this back to you two, what can a gorilla do against a rat? Or what can any of these things do against rats? How do you kill the rats?
Stomp.
Are they New York City rats? Like, what type? Are these sewer fucking rats? Do I have fucking Splinter here? And are the Ninja Turtles coming out to help him? Like, what's happening?
That'd be sick.
Like, what type of rats are they?
I was between the and I sent this in Slack. I believe I was between the 3 brown bears and the gorillas because hawks,
brown bears,
like they could come and they could mess you up from the sky. Yeah. Crocodiles, I mean, if they get a hold of you, you're done.
Done.
Bears and gorillas are the only things that if they're like in a vicinity, they could pretty much just get like a hand on you and you're done.
But that's what the hunter's doing.
Yeah, the hunter, I mean, it depends. We're assuming the hunter, let's say the hunter was that Dispo guy with his arms crossed. Like that guy's going to be a good shot picking people off. He could headshot some of the stuff. I don't know. The rats, I'm not concerned about. In a big coliseum like that, like there's so much space, they would be running around. Like they might scare.
No. Wait, look at this. So this guy over here,
We're not looking at any of this. This is strictly our opinion.
He did some math on square footage for the 10,000 rats.
Hang on. I'm about to do.
That's hilarious.
I'm about to do some math. So you got to think. I'm going back to what Carlos said. Carlos said you have to look at what's attacking you. So I'm imagining if I have the rats and the hunter. Okay, I could break apart the rats, especially if I'm like Pied Piper and I'm just speaking.
I think it's all about like
I'm telling them what
full
to do,
control, right? Yeah.
So I'm gonna send 2,000 rats against the fucking bears. I'm gonna split 3,000 rats, 1,000 rats per bear. Then I'm down to 7,000 rats, and I need them to go after the gorillas. Then I'm gonna have the hunter go after the lions. I'm not even worried about the buffalo. Honestly, I'm running from the fucking buffalo. Okay, yeah. Crocodiles.
You can fucking run from the crocodiles. As long as you don't get cornered, you'll be fine.
100%. Hawks,
honestly, what the fuck's a hawk gonna do to me? He might try to
get
get my
annoying,
eyes,
but you'll survive.
He might try to
Get
get my
annoying,
eyes.
but you'll survive.
Yeah, you
But
could. Yeah, you
I'm
could use
punching
your
him.
hands.
I'm just fucking grabbing him by the fucking wing.
Yeah.
So like, I'm standing by. I was all team gorilla, but I'm going team rat now.
Mhm.
I think I can break them apart if I could properly like an army. It's my army.
Yeah.
We know in military strategy, size always wins.
Mm-hmm.
I can break them apart in groups of 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, the wolves stand no chance against rats. They're gonna just swarm. Do we know the size of the rats? Because how many rats is it gonna take to cover an entire wolf?
I want to hear the square
500?
footage. I would need like 100,000 rats before I even consider that as my not last option. I think rats are probably my last option.
Rats, no, bro. They have teeth.
Yeah, but they can get stepped on by all this
This
stuff.
guy here
Actually,
did the math. You compare rats
buffalo
versus
might
any
be-
other individual group, and the rats win every time. It's a numbers game. You lose one gorilla, and you're out 20% of your force. You'd have to lose 2,000 rats to be down 20%. Then you match them against the rest of the land creatures, and you have 200 rats per animal. But you have what was he saying? The rats take up like 10,000 square feet with a 2 by 0.5 spot for each rat. Assuming I have the ability to communicate and strategize. Yeah. Anyways.
So I'm
and
right.
he wants hawks and rats. He's like, I'm gonna take the hawks and the rats. It's interesting.
So my wife brings up a good point.
it.
She messaged us and she said, "What if the hunter is in the arena with you though?"
Also having to run around, yeah.
I did not plan for that. I'm imagining, and I just want to be clear. In my mind, when I hear rifle, I'm thinking like a hunting, large barrel hunting rifle, multiple magazine. Like you have like a 15 mag in there. So you're pegging off 15 shots before you got to reload. He's got the hunting vest on. He's got fucking ammo everywhere. So like, I'm not worried about that, Brittany. Like this guy, if I got a fucking lion come, boom, 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 15, I could take out 4 lions and 3 bears on 1 mag probably. I got to dodge the fucking gorillas. I reload. I pop. And if he's like a Green Beret or an Army Ranger, dude,
that's the thing. I don't think there's enough qualification on
boom, boom, boom.
The hunter's capabilities and the hunter's gun need a little bit more quantitative value.
I'm picturing the guy from Jumanji. I'm picturing the guy from Jumanji.
I'm going Rambo. I'm picturing Rambo 3. Like, that's my Rambo. He's in Vietnam jungle. He's got a knife and a rifle. No one's taking Chuck Norris. If it's Rambo or Chuck Norris, I'm good to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
If it's some millennial with some guns, like, I'm not doing that. It's like some 22-year-old kid who doesn't know what gender he is. Like, I'm not picking him.
Yeah.
Not picking that kid at all. But it's funny that nobody went with the Bears, because I considered the Bears at a certain point.
I was between gorilla or bears. Give me something big that can, like, the buffalo are big, but they're kind of useless. Like, I don't think they attack, that you would literally just be hiding behind them. I think the only answer is the hunter and then bears or gorillas.
Gorillas can use their arm. You get 5 male gorillas in there, like, fuck no, like silverbacks.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing.
Kill those brown bears any second.
Crocodiles is like, I watch enough. Like, I literally fall asleep to Jack Hanna every night watching his wilderness show. And like, I've seen these crocodiles, and like, the thing is they have trouble killing a zebra because they just have their mouth. They grab the zebra tries to get away, grabs it again. And it takes so long for them to subdue and kill one.
It's unless you're in the water. If you're swimming in the water, then you're in there. You're on land.
Now
fine.
So that's a whole other thing. Listen, my whole idea was, and I think I brought this up before, is I came up with this whole scenario where I had to battle them each in their own territory environment. So you would have to battle the crocodile in the water. You'd have to battle the gorillas in a jungle, the lions in a safari. So that's the thing. But you throw them all on land in a coliseum, you take them out of their element. The only thing that's in their element is a fucking rat, bro, because rats exist everywhere.
It's true.
So anyway, I think this was good. John, I'm disappointed in you and the Wolves, bro.
John I feel like you guys had some pre-thought to this. I just literally opened this and had 30 seconds to come up with my decision. That's why I'm blaming my death. Okay?
Oh, the real Tarzan. Oh, that guy's cool as shit, dude. He's a huge animal lover. He's pretty awesome if you don't follow him. I forget where I even got. As soon as I saw it, I just sent it to you guys. I'm like, bro, we got to talk about this.
That's a very Brandon post for sure.
I feel like every male has thought about in their head what animals he could battle off at some point in his life.
Mm-hmm. So I have turtle
true?
surveys.
Have you guys ever thought about this before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have turtle surveys coming up in what, a week, and I'm doing it in the Wekiva River. So it's the first time I might be swimming in it, and there are fucking alligators in there, and I'm like, what would I do if I saw one swimming towards me?
Would you ask him to join your team? Hey, bro, there was a time when you were on my team. I swear I picked you and not the wolves.
I mean, I've heard stories of these people. Like, this is I've done them before in clear water, and I mean, this is like we only go if it's clear, but it's like wild out there, and people have like grabbed a tail thinking it's a turtle, and it's a fucking alligator. And we've been out there. Like, I go out there all the time. It's just down the street from me, and I've seen some jowly gators out there, and some small ones, but yeah.
Bro, I'm with you on that. I'm not. That's why people ask why I don't go in the water. I'm not. You're not catching me paddle boarding through one of these fucking murky fucking lakes and shit. You're not catching me and my son even out fishing in a Florida lake. My son wanted to go fishing in a lake here. I'm like, listen, son. Your father loves fishing, but I don't fish in Florida. He's like, why, Dad? I'm like, because I could be bending over to grab a fish coming out of the water and put him in the net, while an alligator is coming up to pull your dad into the water. There was an 85-year-old woman who just got
Miami.
By an alligator.
My wife sent me that. She's like, "Are you sure you want to get in the water?"
I'm not. One, I feel like I could fight off an alligator. I have already worked this out in my head. Depending on where it got me, leg or arm, I'm gonna gouge its eye out and I'm gonna come back alive.
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought to myself, should I be carrying a dive knife? In case I have to fight a dive
knife. So let's get John a custom dive knife, like an engraved dive knife.
100%. You need a weapon. There was a moment when I first moved down here. I got it's rubber on the handle, and I bought a strap for it on my leg, so that way I could run, because I was running through the swamps down here in Polk County. They have trails, and I was like, and I got chased by a wild boar at once, and I was like,
oh yeah, wild boar, you must have those things.
It was crazy. Wild, dude. It squealed, I ran, and it chased, and I fought. I don't even know. It went one way, I went the other. I don't know. But at that moment, I was like,
I'll choose a bear over a wild boar.
You can't fight off a boar with your hands. You can't fight it out. Like, you need some type of weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're making me question if I need to go get a dive knife.
You do. You 100% need a knife, bro. I still have that knife.
Dive knife.
I mean, quick, mail 100%. It to me.
I got the strap and everything. I remember.
Bring it to the party tonight. We'll do that as a party trick. The dive 100%.
Knife. Listen, dude, God didn't give us a lot, okay? He gave us one thing, and it's called our brain and ability to think. And with that, we made weapons to survive.
Yeah.
I'm using that. God gave them teeth. He gave me a mind. I'm using that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome stuff. All right. Well, hey, if you enjoyed Cruising Your Market, let us know. We'll do some more episodes like this randomly through the years. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. We got 3 episodes to go. We've hit a year of episodes. Look at us go.
We're at 1 episode. This is 50.
How many weeks in a year? 52? We've got 1 episode to go, and we got our anniversary. So, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week at 1 p.m. We're going to have
Vince Hall of Call.
Thank you. For some reason, Justin was in my head, who is the CEO there. But Vince is going to be here from Call Porter. We're going to have a great conversation with him. And yeah, we'll see you next week, guys.
Oh, and just to let everybody know, if anybody wants to know how I pulled over 5 million records in the last 2 months and have skip traced them for only $50 over that time, and I've got the data for actually free, I am currently giving that away. Well, I am charging for it, but I am sharing that secret. And if you DM me on Instagram data, I will send it to you, and you can see what I've been doing, and you could cut out the $8,000 that I was spending in data and skip tracing costs, and you could cut that out of your business. So that way you could put it in your pocket and go buy some weapons to survive when you get into that arena with all those animals, guys.
There you go.
Better utilize your funds. Better on data. Do not spend it on data. Spend it on weapons.
Love it.
There you go.
Love it.
Love that.
All
right, guys. See ya.